beneficiaries. The report is submitted for committee consideration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Town Clerk, members, Honorable Singombe, Honorable Simumba, and then Honorable Kamondo, in that fashion.
Chair, thank you very much, and thank you very much, Acting Town Clerk, for your submission. I just want to know, there is one chorus that you have continued to talk about. Council will always ensure that it adheres to the provision of the Constitution. Why were you not adhering? What made you just to do things the way you wanted when there is an act and a well-established guidelines for CDF? I submit, Chair.
Honorable Simumba.
I'll take you to page 6. Unaccounted for grant funds.
On page what?
Page 6. Unaccounted for grant funds amounting to 149,397. Chair, I'm worried, very worried in fact, when you look at the action that they have taken. The council wishes to report that it has taken action against the affected cooperatives as indicated below. And the Chair, they are reporting to this committee that they have blacklisted these cooperatives. That is a measure which they have taken. The cooperatives, they have gone with the money, and them, they have blacklisted as a measure. I wanted to find out, when you blacklist these cooperatives, what about our money? Who is going to pay the money that you authorized to these cooperatives that were not approved? I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Kamondo, and then Honorable Nyambosa, then we allow the Town Clerk to respond. Yes, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and we would like to thank the Acting Town Clerk for the submission. However, actually, I'm worried.
Where are you, sir? On which page?
Yes, I'm on page 7.
Thank you.
I'm worried about some of the submissions and repetitions and copy and paste, like area on spoken by Honorable Singombe on the remedial measures. Failure to disburse soft loans, which for me, a town like Lusaka City Council, which has almost everything that it takes, I'm not actually comfortable with the reason that was given, because in the rural areas, that is where we had problems, like banks which are not available, like plans for businesses which maybe very few people know how to do it. But Lusaka City Council, where we have the majority of the people who are unemployed, and government provides this money so that the people can benefit, and you still take too long, like those constituencies in the rural. What assurance are you giving this committee that this thing will not repeat itself, so that Lusaka City Council will be a shining example, so that even those from the rural are able to learn from you? What assurance are you going to give? Because this one, I think, doesn't comfort us. Thank you.
Okay, let me allow the Town Clerk to respond to those three questions. Town Clerk, if you need the help from your colleagues, please indicate. Your mic.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the latest one, failure to disburse loans on time. Chair, on this one, I think after the CDF was introduced, especially when the money was increased from 1.6 to 25 million, I think it had added the other two components, which were loans and empowerments together with bursaries. But then on the loans and bursaries, government took a bit of time to give us guidance on how we are to disburse the loans and also the bursaries. So we had to wait for further guidance on how we are going to disburse. So eventually, the time of audit, so that's where the delay came from. But for assurance, now, because the guidelines are very clear, we know what to do. So there will be no that kind of delay going forward, Chair. Then on the action taken, Chair, on the blacklisted people, this one we are also engaging. We have a legal team at Lusaka City Council. So these people that who didn't account for this money, in terms of we are also seeing on how best we can recover from them, Chair.
Town Clerk, are you able to provide evidence upon blacklisting these cooperatives? Are you able to give us the evidence of what action you have taken? Have you written to them, or have you called them? What have you done, or we are still waiting to take an action after you've blacklisted them? What evidence do you have?
Let me invite.
Maybe before DF, let me allow one of the blacklisted cooperatives to say something. Mandev.
Yes, Chair. I just wanted to find out from the town clerk if he's aware of the Public Management Finance Act number 1 of 2018 and its provisions as regarding this issue that we are discussing.
Yes, a follow-up. Also, I think mine is similar to what Honorable Shakafuswa has asked. Chair, the evidence adduced is a letter that was done on the 5th of December 2023, after the audit. Now, the question that begs serious answer is, was the council doing the monitoring, the internal audit system? What was it doing? And Chair, I want to tell the town clerk and the team and the nation to know the figures we're talking about. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The tune of 480,000. This is the total amount that the action that they have chosen is only to blacklist. And blacklisting is just by mayor letter. Public resources to the tune of I added this. Oh, it's 149, yes. 149,397 public resources spent, and just a letter of blacklisting. So the people have gone with the money, it doesn't matter. Other people can come, and again you are going to blacklist. Is that the action that you have chosen under the Public Finance Management Act? This is the only route you have chosen, and you are comfortable with it, that public resources were spent like this? Thank you, Chair.
Okay, I'll allow Honorable Simombe to make a follow-up question.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me this opportunity to make a follow-up question. Acting Town Clerk, you have said that you delayed to do the disbursement of the funds because you were still waiting for guidelines. Agreed. I wanted to know how much money accrued in terms of interest as a result of that delay. And where is that money that was accrued as interest.
Thank you. I saw the Madam Chiwesakunda wanted to respond.
Yes, Chair. So, Madam Chiwesa will come in, then after that, the DF also will clarify.
Please, we have a number of questions.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to emphasize that blacklisting was just the first step, but to blacklist, because we knew that we could blacklist the cooperative, but members could still maybe find their way into other cooperatives. So I think we are still discussing how we can maybe now start blacklisting even individuals. There's a certain system that was being shared with us, I think by Smart Zambia, where you can use a system where even if they go to a different district, they'll be blacklisted so that those members are followed up. But blacklisting is not where we're going to end. We had already thought of maybe taking, as the town clerk had said, legal action against them so that it sets a precedent for other would-be offenders. That's just what I'd wanted
Okay,
to add.
maybe before even my colleague comes in, just on blacklisting part of it. You are saying that blacklisting was the first step you have taken. You have not engaged them, you have not called them. How about if you are blacklisting people that will be able to pay? Did you engage them? Have you had a meeting to say, no, these people have actually failed, so this is the risk. We are now starting acting on them by blacklisting them. Have you had an opportunity to hear from them?
The way the letter was phrased is they are free to respond to the letter, so we're still waiting for their response, because some would just phone and say, oh, we've received this, but we had done this. So we said, no, put everything in writing so that we can deal with it. So we are still in that process.
But Madam Namwing, I don't know whether we're on the same page. What I'm saying, I'm seeing an action before hearing them. What was supposed to come first was supposed to be a letter, isn't it? If they don't respond, then you can blacklist them. Or if they don't give you a satisfactory answer, then you can move on and start blacklisting them. But you blacklist them now, and then you write to them and wait.
Maybe before they respond, just to add on, Chair, if there was proper monitoring, which I want to hear from them, at which point did you realize that these people were failing or they had chewed the money? That you just came in December after the audit, that's when you blacklisted. What other measures did you take into account? Maybe hearing them, as the chair suggested. Did you give them a hearing? And do we have any evidence here to show engagement between them and yourselves during that normal or check of monitoring? We want to hear what has
Chewing
happened.
the money is unparliamentary. Can you replace it?
So I withdraw chewing the money. Chair, these are public resources. My heart breaks. If this is the trend we are going to go under CDF, the people want services. These monies are made for the people. And some people can just get the money and just the end of, just a letter of blacklisting. I'm not satisfied. Honorable Shakafuswa asked a very critical question. Under Public Finance Act, is this the measure or is this the sanction that would apply? Thank you.
Thank you. Town clerk or your colleagues?
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. As it was stated by the Director Planning, this is not the only action that we are taking. We've since submitted this matter to our legal team so that they advise on how we can proceed in terms of which action can follow after blacklisting them. Thank you.
DF, I think you are skipping you are being economical, you Lusaka City Council, in your responses. These people, you did not you did not give them like you send money on Airtel. You invited them, they did the documentation. So what is difficult for you to call them again and hear from them? Because now you are taking the route where after blacklisting them, you are taking the matter to your legal team or legal department without hearing. My question is, Why are we not getting these people and call them and say, this, you are not performing? Like my colleague Nyambose has put, Honorable Nyambose has put it, that where is the monitoring part of the whole thing? Because you should have detected this. Honorable.
On the same chair, because yes, chair, because when you blacklist, chair, it means you have nothing to do with that company. Now, you want to engage them. Yes, you want to engage them when you have nothing to do with them. What does that tell? Because even them, chair, they will know that you have been blacklisted. Even whatever engagement that you would want, they cannot even respond because they have nothing to do with you. Why didn't you take, before blacklisting them, the step of engaging them so that it becomes the first step so that we can recover this money? Because to them, they have benefited, chair. Even this blacklisting, whatever, to them doesn't matter because they've got money. It's the council and the people who are suffering now. Why didn't you take a step of engaging, as the chair has stated, before blacklisting them? I submit, chair.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's like they've divorced. So are they looking for reconciliation?
Town clerk, put us in a picture where we still feel you can still talk to each other.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, maybe, Chair, maybe we had taken at this meaning and strong action, but we felt that, these are people that somehow we had explained to them, knew the guidelines, they were given the money. So at the point when we went to check what they were doing, then we found that there was nothing, Chair. So I would say that we'll get some wisdom from you, Chair, there, that maybe we jumped into.
You see, town clerk, before my vice actually comes in, my town clerk, the aim of the government is to empower the people. That is number one. Two, government does not want to lose any money in that fashion. Doesn't want to lose money in that fashion. Like somebody has quoted a Public Finance Act number 1 of 2018 is punishable unto the officers. Suppose we lose this money. If we say we don't recover this money, where should we recover? Where should the government recover this money from? That's why the reason is. That's why my suggestion, area suggestion, is that talk to them. Allow these people, make sure that you speak to them so that if it's business they are doing, they should give you the plan. This is what we are doing. We're paying slowly until we get somewhere. But when you say, like somebody has said, maybe you divorce them and then now we want to go behind the house and start reconciliating, which is not the right procedure. Because ultimately what we want is to recover this money. Ultimately, we want to do that. Somebody, maybe I'll allow my vice chairperson to say what she's whispering, but I've heard. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. From the explanation of Lusaka City Council, again, it draws us back to the issue of monitoring and evaluation. And obviously, again, as a council, you've skipped the procedure and gone directly into blacklisting them. My question is that, just like we have heard from other councils, do these really exist? Or was there proper scrutiny or jumping the block to blacklisting them? I feel maybe those are not there. So obviously for council, yes, for us as a council, to protect ourselves, we obviously do the blacklisting. Because I think before somebody is blacklisted, they must be heard. But looking at previous submissions, I get a feeling, Chair, that these members do not exist. Because around Lusaka, monitoring is very, very easy, especially that you are one of the provinces with very good roads and the most effective vehicles around. So I find it very difficult, Chair, that these people are nowhere to be called to the council. Could it be that they do not exist? They are not there. Council realize that these cooperatives are neither here or there. So what do we do? Obviously, audit queries will raise, and people will be up in arms. We'll obviously blacklist them. But exactly who are you blacklisting? Because somebody must be heard. That would be my concern.
Thank you very much.
Before you come, Chair.
Yes, sir.
Chair, I want to beg through you. I speak to the council. The vision carrier of this...
Please go ahead. Speak to the council.
The vision carrier of this CDF, and I'm not speaking to you only. I'm speaking to all the councils. The vision carrier of this CDF is to ensure that all monies, even in one way, is accounted for. The vision carrier. And this is not an easy decision to make, to give money that you can come here and just tell people who get 149,000. The other schedule, Chair, the other schedule of failure to disburse soft loans to the tune of 20 million. You just take it easy like that we blacklisted before engaging them. Chair, the start of this, the indicators, as the Vice has indicated, the indicators are very bad. And if there was a lapse on your part as officers, I think, Chair, I would propose sanctions to officers. Because if there was monitoring and seriousness as the vision carrier of this in CDF to ensure that these monies are utilized properly and prudently, then sanctions should apply. Because this is total negligence. You just end up on a blacklisting, you don't engage, you don't do anything. Where is the monitoring report? You have planners here. You have the legal mind. The legal department should have guided you to say that before we blacklist, according to the Public Finance Act, this is the route we should take. You have those departments. You have the audit. What is the audit doing to check that these monies that you are giving are given to the right people? Are they existing? Where is the planning? Where is the monitoring? Then you come here, we have just blacklisted by a letter that you have put here. Are we serious as a country or as a council? So I would propose that going forward, I'm getting scared. If this will be the trend, then we are just taking money from the vision carrier, who is the president and the government, that we give councils. These monies will go without any tangible thing to be seen. And I wouldn't be part of that. I want sanctions to apply to officers who deliberately are negligent to allow this process. These people are in the compounds, blacklisted. They have taken the money, as Honorable Simumba said. Another group will come, blacklisted. And I'm sure those who have not appeared before this committee, Chair, they are planning also, let's change addendum, let's blacklist our friends who have done it. I think this is not the trend that I was subscribed to. I want proper explanation myself on behalf of the people of Zambia. Is this the best action? Sitting in the Public Finance Act. Thank you, Chair.
As we proceed, because we want to proceed to other queries, but you give us the plan before you walk out. You give us the plan on how we want to handle this. Honestly, if it means, if it comes to monitoring, we are in his constituency, Honorable Shagafoswa. It's not far from the city council there to monitor one of the cooperatives in his constituency. It's not difficult. So maybe we'll proceed with other questions. Honorable Simumba.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'll take you to page 2.
Page 2?
Yes.
Page 2 of our report.
Yes, Chair. Irregular enrollment and registration of CDF beneficiaries. Again, Chair, contrary to the guidelines, it was observed that 33 beneficiaries who had been enrolled at the Lusaka Business and Technical College and paid for training fees amounting to 230,212 were not on the approved list of beneficiaries from the ministry. Chair, I'm also worried again, which means there were 2 lists. The first one, which the ministry approved. And again, the Lusaka City Council had their own list, which they had to send people, 33 beneficiaries, chair, who were not on the list of the approved list which came from the ministry. I want to find out from the TC, why was this happening under your watch? Chair, I submit.
Thank you very much. Before he responds, let me invite the Auditor General to say something on the same matter. Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to react to the initial submission by the
Town clerk.
the town clerk, where he has indicated in his submission that some of the names that we identified as Auditor General were not part of the list that we approved. When we went on the ground, we have some evidence showing that the names that have been named, such as Taurai, Tembo, Banda Loveness, and Mwanzama, he's indicated that they were not part of the list that was approved. But we have evidence where it's indicated that these people were enrolled, like for Taurai Tembo, Munari constituency. I mean, that's Banda Loveness. We have the evidence. It's showing, Chair, that these were among the people that were paid using CDF. My submission.
Thank you very much. Town clerk, she has submitted, the evidence from the Auditor General's office showing the payments under CDF, and from your submission, this one was not paid for. We'll come back to that. Honorable Mutero.
Sir, I would love to be hearing the team responding. Chair, it's like they are too quiet. We are not giving them time to respond. If Chair, you guide us in
Thank you very much.
because we want to know who is telling us the truth. They went to you, you give them names, they come here, you tell us to say they generated the names themselves. For how long have you been acting? Maybe we have a wrong person. For how long have you been acting? Who was sitting where you are seated? Maybe you people were not there. Were you there when these things were happening?
I was not yet acting, Chair.
Exactly. Who was there? And where is that person, Chair?
The contract was terminated.
That's fine.
The contract terminated. Okay, now I understand. Because then you should have been telling us to say maybe these things were happening not under my watch. There was a question, sir, by Honorable Shakafuswa. Do you know the law? May I know the answer? Do you know the law? If you know the law, what's that law? What are the offenses if you come into breach? May I know if you know, and what's that which you know, and what are the offenses? What do you face if you don't do according to the law?
Thank you, Chair. I think as advised by the Chair, we needed to summon, investigate them, and when after finding the cause, I think we should have instituted recoveries of the monies. So I think maybe the action that we took was blacklisting was too strong. But as advised, we hear them out and also find a way, interrogate them to recover the money so that the government doesn't lose.
All right, Town Clerk, my colleague wanted that clarification, and maybe you have attempted, but you were on this question for the bursaries, and this, like we indicated in the first place, that if you mislead this committee, there are very serious consequences. If you have evidence of you paying somebody under CDF and your submission says you have not paid for this person, can I get a clarification, a reconciliation from you? Because the evidence from the Auditor General's office is here. So if we fish out just even one person, one student, to us it means, like my colleague was saying, Honorable Simumba, if we fish out, we have proof of one evidence, one student being paid for, and you are not agreeing, then it means maybe you had another list actually that was paid for that was not approved by the Minister of Local Government. Can we get some reconciliation?
Thank you, Chair. Let me invite Jeff to give us an overview on the same.
Assistant, can you assist the DF? Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. According to our SEP, he indicated that the list that was given to us by the auditor, those names were not on the approved list. And the payment that was done to Lusaka Business College didn't include those names.
So, Assistant, you are still, can you pass it, if issues? Are you still saying that is not CDF payment? Can you just give her to have a look at that document? Just have a look at that document. No, just that name. Don't go to a lot of them. There are a lot, but just that name.
Chair, it would help if there was a payment from Lusaka City Council. Now, this is just a name.
So that could be CDF elsewhere in Kabompo, right?
I need to verify because there's just a name.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll follow it up.
Thank you, Chair.
We'll follow it up. We'll ask if that name is there, because the school there will show where that money is coming from. So, Auditor, please just prove your case by going back to this school and getting where the money was coming from. Which local authority?
Chair.
The constituent and the constituents.
Chair.
Yes, sir.
Maybe the follow-up question which I would want to find out,
yes,
is are there some beneficiaries that have benefited who were not on the approved list? I submit, Chair.
DF, Assistant DF. Were they such names?
There are no such names according to our records.
Okay, so let's go back to the audit findings here. Audit findings, the submission from him.
Just a follow-up. Acting Town Clerk, you said some. Are you getting what you had said? Some were there. Other names were not there. The assistant comes to say, no. So don't bring this committee into confusion. There are names which were paid but not approved by the ministry. Yes or no?
Chair, the audit query is about 33 students. 26 are under Kawata. And we are saying under Kawata, those 25 are on the list except Martha. Martha is not on the approved list. And we did not pay for Martha. Then when we come to Kanyam, there's one beneficiary who is under tourism and was paid, and the payment was done to tourism, not to Lusaka Business College. Then under Matero, the two under Matero, they are both on the approved list and on our payment. Munali, that's where we still, Chair, we need to verify the list that has just been given to us, because the SEP informed us that these 4 members were not paid for.
So, sorry to interrupt you. Were you part of the team that met the auditors when they came to audit Lusaka City Council? Were you part of it?
Chair, I was not part of it, but my office is in charge.
All right. Let me just take you through nicely. You are not part of that. But were you aware, were you given the period, the pre-audit period, when you are told to put your house in order, to put the records in order? Were you around that time?
Yes, Chair, I was around.
And you had an opportunity to look at the people that were supposed to be benefiting from the CDF under the bursaries?
Yes, and I was in touch with the SEPs, all the 4 SEPs.
So when this query came, because when the query comes after the audit, they will engage you to say, no, can we clarify on this? Did you have the sight of this query?
Yes, Chair.
And what did you do? You didn't correct at that, and you allowed it to come into the auditor's
Actually,
report.
Chair, there were more. Some have been dropped, like Chawama and Lusaka Central. After they gave the documents, I think they were verified and they were dropped.
Do we have the internal auditor here? Do you have the internal auditor? Help us what you know about this internal auditor.
Chair, she's also new.
She's
new.
Okay. Under this, when you appear before this committee, there is perpetual succession. So the question of being new, in most cases, doesn't arise because when you come into that office, even when you are written to appear before, you acquaint yourself with this. So now, what made you, the whole lot of you, Lusaka, to come here if you are all new? Why didn't you say we are new here, we can't appear? Because it's like no one has an answer, so why are we seated here? Because the internal auditor will have to go through and say this, whatever the external auditors raised in their audit, you should have given us something. Can we say you're also new town clerk, then we can't continue?
No, Chair.
Yeah, we need answers because we feel there are ghost students here. If there are no ghost students, then there is another hand that produces another list that is not approved by the ministry. And we want to know that. And by God's grace, we have been given one evidence from the auditors. Apart from you are disputing this one, the auditors are saying, no, actually we verified this person was paid by Lusaka City Council. So how do we proceed in that scenario?
Chair.
Yes, please.
For the Munali, the 4 for the Munali, if we can be given time to show proof that these were not paid.
All right. I'll give you the benefit of doubt, and this committee will ask you to submit that verified information. We'll get a report also from the auditors, and from you. We'll give you 1 week to prepare that report.
Thank you, Chair.
Just on that question, and we want verified. Honorable Nyambose.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, on page on page 4, budget performance. Reason for the query: council had unspent funds during the time of audit. Action taken: the council wishes to report that all projects that had been identified and approved were at procurement stage. However, the projects were not implemented. I will come to in page 5 again. I will take you to failure to spend. Failure to spend, the reason is delay in identification of projects by the committees. I want you to take interest, Council. That is a very standard response you are giving. Again, on page 6, on the issue of failure to spend, response is delay in the identification and the implementation of projects. When you go to, you can go on and on, or most of the queries is a standard answer. Now, failure to spend, money is assigned to the people of Lusaka in all the constituencies. The failure is that you cannot spend because communities are not able to identify projects. I take interest, Chair. Is it true the people of Lusaka or the MPs of Lusaka are failing to identify projects? Hence, the money cannot be spent. And if you look at the burn rate that came out.
Point of order. Point of order, Chair.
Point of order sustained. Honorable Shagafuso.
I wish to raise a very serious point of order against my colleague who's bringing the MPs of Lusaka into perspective. MPs do not choose projects. Is in order, Chair.
Thank you
To
very much.
insinuate that MPs
Thank
are
you
the
very
ones.
much. He is very much in order because what he's saying is MPs here know what they want. So what he was saying, maybe I can rephrase it. What he was saying was that you, through your people, you know the problems that you have here. And no MP in Lusaka will say, no, I'm okay in my constituency. Isn't it, Honorable Nyambose? So that's what he's saying, that actually MPs here, they are worried. If some people say, no, we have failed to identify projects. Sure, Honorable Shagafuso, can you fail to identify if you need a drainage or what? So what he's saying is, people should not be accused that they have not identified. They should give another reason. The council should give another reason, not failing to identify the projects. No, they have a lot of needs. I don't know whether.
So, Chair, what I was saying is that the MP does not identify
No,
the
it
projects
doesn't.
according to the
guidelines.
laid down guidelines. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
It's the WDCs, in case you don't know.
Chair, I think you picked the gist of my
Yeah,
presentation.
exactly.
And I think if you pick the gist, you would appreciate what I'm talking about. Because the report insinuates that in these communities of Lusaka, they are failing to identify projects. That's why money cannot be spent, which is not true.
I'll give.
So, Chair, my question to you is that the response that you are giving for Lusaka, and if you see the people of Lusaka who are craving for projects on development, who want to see this money, they are not seeing this money. The response you are giving is that the people of Lusaka are failing to identify projects. That's why the money cannot be. Whether it's WDCs, me as an MP have my interest. I don't get in the bottom, but I have got, because I have interest, I'm the person. So the gist of my presentation, is it true that the people of Lusaka are failing to identify projects? That's why the money cannot be spent. Or there is a problem somewhere. So this is my question to you. This is a standard. If you see, most of the responses, failure to identify projects, that's why the money cannot be spent. And if you look at the burn rate, it is worrying for everyone. Money is there, submitted. So this is what I wanted to get from the management. Is it true the people of Lusaka are suffering because they cannot identify projects? Thank you.
Through your town clerk, I've seen Madam Chivesa wanting to speak. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Chair. I just wanted to make reference through you, Chair, that if you look at this particular one, it says that it's not that there was a delay. It says, in addition, the structures such as WDCs were only elected at that time in June 2022. So it's that there was that vacuum, because I think, as you have rightly guided, it starts from the WDCs. So at that period, I think we were still going through the elections and things like that. So when the audit came, some of these projects had not yet been identified. But it's not that that's the case all the time, because I can give an example now for, is it 2024, there's been such an overwhelming response. Yes, we've had to even extend by 2 weeks to get. So through you, Chair, I just want to place it on record that no, it's not that the WDCs are failing. They are actually very, very much willing, and they have been playing a big role.
Okay.
It was just during that period, unfortunately, when they came, some were not in place. But now, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Honorable.
Thank you so much, Chair. TC, from the response given by your colleague there, are you telling us that it took almost 6 months to put WDCs in place in an urban setup like this, when in the rural areas which have longer distances we are able to do that within a short period of time?
Thank you,
Town
Chair.
Clerk? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Chair, it took a bit of time for us to put the WDC in place. And also, when the WDC got in place and when they had projects, it took a bit of time for them to agree on which projects that were to finally have. And also, from the onset, Chair, you agree with me that when we started with this 25 million, I think everyone was a bit overwhelmed because of stuff from here and there. So, hence from that, we took a bit of time, that when the auditor came on the ground, we had not done much, hence this observation that they took, Chair. But we can safely say that now we've gotten, we are moving, like for 2023, even 2024, the WGC now they are in place and they know what to do. So the projects have been identified already.
Chair, through you, we hear you. And it was the entire country, the entire Lusaka province, where you have Chongwe, you have Chilanga, you have Fera, they are all in Lusaka at the same rate, same time. But when you go to the, how are you calling the bent what? Rate. Ban rate. Out of the Lusaka province, it's only Lusaka. So what's the problem? Where is the problem? The same secular was given to Chongwe, to Chilanga, to Fera, to Kafiwe. When it comes to the ban rate, in Lusaka, it's only Mandevu constituency. And when you are seeing what you are seeing, the names which are put there, sorry, Chair, through you, the names which are put there is not for the town clerk or the CS. The name which is put, Chawama, Lusaka Central, they will put the name for the member of parliament, who is not there, like Honorable Shakafuso would say, but who has the constituency at heart, who has all the projects and all the needs. We are now in the midst of cholera here, when we should have done the drainages. Money is there. Is it true that who fail to identify the project. My question is, Chongwe is Lusaka, Kafiwe is Lusaka, and you Lusaka, you are Lusaka, getting guidelines at the same time. But the burn rate is worse for Lusaka, Lusaka. Do you think we'll take that?
Thank you. Next, as we wind up. Yes.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Pamundo and
TC, and to all the councils, do you take responsibility of the inefficiencies in implementation of projects, especially CDF projects, as a council? And if you do take responsibility of the inefficiency to implement CDF projects on time, what do you want done to you as technocrats for you to be able to work efficiently, effectively, and on time?
Honorable Kamondo, then Honorable Smumba.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I'd like to take the members to page number 9. I have an issue maybe that I want to be put to track on the secondary school boarding and skills development failure to report. We have a situation in Lusaka province where so many students didn't report, but it looks like the monies were paid for, and they never reported. And when I was trying to add, my total is giving me about 1,095,000 kwacha and 116, which money was spent to pay for students, but who never reported. I'd like to find out what could be the procedure before these students go to, is it first of all they report, then you pay for them, or you pay for them before they report and then some of them do not report? What is the right criteria to do? Because this one, it looks like it's a common problem to secondary school, where we have people being paid for, but they don't report. And if that is the case, has this money been recovered?
Thank you. Honorable Simumba.
Chair, I'll take you to page 8. Unspent grants. In Lusaka, Chair, where there is this population, there is an amount of 25,950,264 unspent. I wanted to find out from the council if maybe they undertook massive sensitization to the community. If so, we would want to have some evidence. If maybe you have got some receipts paid to the radio stations, TV stations, if these things were done. Chair, I submit.
Okay, before you respond, because we're running out of time, I may invite Honorable Shakafuswa to ask as well.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to find out something on page 5.
On page 5, please take note of those questions.
It comes from page 4. That is failure to spend, where the council is saying that unspent funds were caused by the delay in the identification of projects by the communities, resulting into a further delay in the implementation process. The blame has been taken to the communities. Do you have, as Lusaka City Council, the right personnel in terms of engineering and planners for each constituency so that you are able to apprehend these projects on time? Even accounting. Is your staff level, especially for these critical departments, the people that look at CDF, are they all filled in? I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Town Clerk. Town Clerk, all the questions.
Thank you. So for page 9, the director asset planning will take it, and also for page 8. Then I'll answer the question from Honorable Shakafusa, through you, Chair. In terms of staff, we are neither there. We have a slight problem in terms of the quantity surveyors. We do not have adequate, but we are glad that the Ministry of, is it the Law Government Service Commission? They have worked on the structure, and the structure was approved. So the structure, because on CDF implementation, we need more of quantity surveyors, of which the previous structure didn't have. So the structure that they have done, which has been approved, it allows to have quantity surveyors. And I think we've seen the advert which is circulating. So we've been assured that those positions will be filled in, and that will help the assimilation of CDF also to move fast. And then also on project identification, we needed more of socio-economical planners. Also, at the start we didn't have, but currently in the past 6 months, most positions have been filled. I submit on that one, Chair. Maybe for the question on page 9, I can invite the Director of City Planning to attempt to respond to that one. On the issue of 127, the bursary for secondary schools.
Director?
Thank you, Chair. I don't know if I got you correctly. You said you were asking whether the people who you had paid for people who hadn't reported?
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, yes, I was talking about what is on this actually graph, I mean this drawing here. We have actually so many pupils that had applied, and then they had paid, you paid for them, however they didn't report. So I wanted to know what could be the procedure. How did you pay before actually these could even report, if that was the case? And also, later on, if you had paid and they never reported, did you get back the money from these various schools as a refund? Because they never reported. That is actually my question.
We sent other students in advance.
The last appendix of a request by Lusaka Business Training College that for non-payment of fees by the council. To me, it indicates that there were students that are at that college, but the council is not paying to a tune of 800 and something. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true?
Yes. No, it's a different one. Yes. No.
So I just wanted to add to what is talking.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So for those where they did not pay, I think they did not report, right?
Just pull the mic closer. We want to hear you.
Yes, so for those where they did not report, what happened was I believe we were in communication with the school.
Let me help you, Director. Do you have the figures? Do you have the evidence that this didn't? Or we give you time like we have given time, because we do not want you to give us what you think. Because if you are communicating, do you have the evidence that, yes, we communicated, they gave us this list of names?
Okay, so I think maybe I'll just ask my colleague, because she's one who's got the figures with her.
All right,
No,
okay.
We allow the Director Finance.
Finance?
So for Kawata, the SEP identified 14 students who did not report, and this was reported to Lusaka Business College, and they confirmed the names, and a letter was written for refund.
Chair, for the sake of record, in case 8, Kawata, so she's saying
Those
here on the report.
for us, we are reporting as Lusaka, but what was identified by the audit was 8, yes, Chair. Okay. So a discussion, they had meetings, and the documents were written, and they have agreed to refund. Then for Chawama,
So please, Wallace, give us the documents.
I think if you look at Appendix 10.
Appendix 10.
Yes, Appendix 10.
Honorable Nyambose, look at Appendix 10. Thank you very much. So the other follow-up question is, when are you supposed to pay? Is it you pay before they go there, or you pay after?
So this time there's even the verification process.
You're not answering my question.
I think I didn't get the question.
Yes. Is it before or after?
For the first time, once the
Madam, is it before or after? That's all.
Okay.
You say no, we pay before or we pay after.
We pay before.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Chair.
Okay. So you pay before the students report. And if they didn't report, again you run there, which would be the ideal thing. How do you pay for the bread before you see it? You have it in your hands, and then you can pay the right amount, right?
So just to augment on that one, on the bursaries, you pay D before. Business Center College, they are claiming you've not paid them. So where are we? Do you pay before or after? Because in one instance, you pay D before. In the other, after. Because they are even claiming now to say you've not paid us.
The Chair, the letter is...
Yes. Go ahead, madam.
The Chair is confirming that out of the 18, 14 students, that's why now they will need to refund us on the 14 students. I think that's what the letter is saying.
Out of 18.
Yes.
And that's why I was saying.
Because the 4 reported.
That's why I was saying, how do you pay before they report? Where you paid, actually, they never reported. The 14 of them. And the other side, they are saying you have not paid. They want you to pay. Isn't it? The other college. So, internal auditor and town clerk, what is the ideal procedure? You know? When do you pay? We are not supposed to pay for students before we even see them in class, before we even see these are admitted. So I don't know what document you are using to pay against. Because maybe somebody produces or generates. We have one place here, very famous, Matero. Somebody produces an acceptance letter from there, then you pay as Lusaka City Council, isn't it? You pay. But at the end of the day, they just generated. At the end of the day, they don't even report. But you do have paid. So now we are battling to get this money back. Out of 18, 14. That was a bit careless, isn't it? It was a bit careless from management. At least, we must be smart. These people, yes, they are here. Can you give us the invoice now? We pay against that invoice, against the register that you have from the school. Of course. Because when they have done that, when they are enrolled, they are in class, and then you go there, they should give you a code. That code should be attached to the names that are present there, then you can pay. So I think we need to reorganize ourselves as finance department and the audit department, that these things should be done.
Just to further your point,
Yes.
the government has discouraged verification tours to check the students in colleges. What used to happen, Chair, initially was that the council team from Lusaka would go around the colleges to go and verify. Like for ourselves in Eastern Province, would go to Chipata College, come to Lusaka College. But the government has discouraged, meaning that if you want to do a head count, you have to rely on Lusaka, which they may not do because they're busy with other issues. In short, discouraging the whole thing. So how do you verify before a payment that these students have reported? It's supposed to be the reporting institution, when the receiving institution, to indicate that we have 10 of your people, and these are the names, can you prepare payment for them? But in this particular case, Lusaka pays even before they go. Then they end up not going there. Money has been paid. What is the basis of payment of such monies to colleges before you see the students reporting to these colleges?
There was another question. As we wind up, there was another question from Honorable Kamondo.
Actually, Honorable Chairperson, there are two scenarios here. There is one for skills and another one for secondary school boarding, like that, which I referred to here. And what is surprising is that about 160 could not actually report. There was failure to report to school. And that is the amount of money which I also said, about 1 million. I asked the question which I have not been given a very good answer, whether the council has managed to get back this money. And that is where the chairman came in and said, which one comes first? Should we be paying for people that we have not even seen? And that is the reason why we find ourselves in such a scenario whereby we can't even, people cannot even report. Do we say these were ghosts? But the Auditor General's report, now it's telling us there is this, about 160 people. When are you going to get the money? Or what action have you taken so that you recover the money which was paid to these institutions and which the students never reported?
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. We have actually written to some, and I think like the other letter, is it Lusaka Business, they have even responded that they are going to pay back. Then maybe also let me just invite DF to amplify on this
DF.
one.
DF.
Thank you, Chair. We are making progress. Another one is a case of Chauma constituency, where the Lusaka Business Technical College has confirmed that they have responded to a request over what was actually in terms of what we are owing. There are issues where, for example, they will give us a debit note, for example, where we overpaid in the previous year, so they will recover from the current year. So we are engaging them in those circumstances.
Town Clerk, we haven't answered the unspent grants amounting to 25,950.
Thank you, Chair. Director Sifrani, you're asking if there was enough centralization. Why was the thing not spent? Can respond.
Failure to spend.
Chair, the sensitization or rather orientation was done through our socio-economic planners.
When was that?
In the course of the year, I may not just have the documentation, we can avail it to, but there is evidence of having sensitized these people, especially on financial procedures. And in fact, I think when we're discussing some of these issues, one of the ideas that our socioeconomic planners had is maybe we can even be inviting someone from auditor's office to just explain the gravity of what happens if you don't spend the grants, the repercussions. But otherwise, our officers do it as socioeconomic planners. It's a routine orientation as
See, the worrying part, Director, is that there is always time frame, and this is the reason as to why at the end of the day, the auditors will come through and find you with huge sums of money unspent. There should be a time frame. If you are sensitizing the people, the communities, is for how long? And at which point do you start now the implementation program? Because if you say you did the sensitization, maybe it was last year, and you have not implemented anything, these ones, when time comes, they will come through and find you at the same time, at the same place actually. So when you did that, when do we expect these people to start receiving the monies? When do you expect to spend the money? So the time frame is very important, because that actually lies square on you as management. The management should have all that program to say, no, this week, this month, the other month, so that you're not caught unaware like they found you. So now what happens? When do people get that, you know? Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. So, Chair, I would like to say that at the time of the audit, which was, because 2022 was being audited in January 2023. So by then, because that was like this issue of bursaries, by then newly introduced. So members of the public by then were not very that familiar with these bursaries. Others, you know, they didn't think that it was really true. They thought maybe, you know, so it was something else. So that's how by then, you know, the assimilation, you know, even the application, Chair, we didn't have men. But for now, Chair, going forward after that, because we have PR team and the like, even the schools themselves, I think, because they wanted a lot of students, they started advertising. So currently, Chair, we can assure you that we have a lot of applications. And
Thank you very much. But that response is only found in Lusaka. And at Lusaka City Council, where we come from, no, we don't have that. So we urge you to catch up with the rest of the country.
Thank you, Chair.
Everybody should be aware that this is not a hoax.
The figures are alarming. How much do you pay per student? How much are you paying in Lusaka? I'm getting afraid. If that was 2022, how much are you going to be paying in 2024? Sorry for lack of better words. There's something fishy there. There's something fishy. The assistant is even agreeing with me. Something is fishy. This college, you have this figure, is the charge. That other college, do you have a standard rate? Or may I misuse myself? If it is a Mutelo college, you pay so much per student. And if it is, may I make also misuse of my brother, if it is Mwene college, you also pay different. Do you have a standard rate? These figures are alarming. No wonder we even have ghosty students.
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair.
Just in addition to what my colleague is saying, I think yourself, Town Clerk, the Finance Department, like I mentioned, and the audit, please do the right thing. Because this is purely management. It's just purely management that is supposed to happen at Lusaka City Council. Even what my colleague is bringing up. You must be able to verify these. You must be able to say, but in certain colleges, the same course is paying this. That district, they are paying this. Why do we have a little bit higher or things like that? This time around, the world is very sophisticated, and somebody can be seated approving the loans, and then he's benefiting. He's approving, but he's benefiting. So, you know, we must have a standard. We must be able to be very comfortable with what we are spending. And I'm very surprised because the Lusaka City Council, like everybody else has mentioned, you must be a role model. In everything, you must be leading, actually. People should be saying, no, go and find out from Lusaka City Council. Now you are still sensitizing, you don't know, the people, they don't even believe in Lusaka. Rukuru, they are doing that. Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Honorable
As we wind up, we have been seated for some.
Will I be correct if I suggest that at some point the unspent monies is deliberate from the councils so that the councils can gain some interest, which they will be reporting that this is the interest which we have gained, and take it actually to the government again? Because I'm seeing here where you were asking for reference remittance of interest earned on Lusaka Central CDF from October, whatever, so about 222,000. It's like you want to look, we want us to look at government as if government is not committing itself fully. It's like you give an animal and you are holding the tail. Because why should we allow the government again to make money out of the same money which came from them and you remit it to them? Why is it like that? Is it deliberate that you make an interest from this? Because I know that you have got two accounts. The one which has the loans and then the one for capital projects. I think there are two accounts. The other account, actually, the money goes back. The interest gained goes back actually to central government. Then the other one, which is for the loans, the money goes to the council. So could I be correct to say that it is also deliberate with councils that they don't spend this money and earn some interest, which will go to government and the other interest goes to the council? Could that be correct if I thought like that?
Thank you very much, Honorable Kamondo. If you don't come out clear, or you don't put procedures, or you don't follow the guidelines, people are bound to start making insinuations. And they'll put, there is something that we used to learn in primary, fill in the bracket. So we'll do that. We'll say, oh, they are doing this because of ABC, even when it's not correct. But don't create an atmosphere where people start, you know, thinking like that against the management. Let's have a clear policy. We have the guidance before us, and we are able to do that. Thank you very much. I think we have talked, but I want to say, Lusaka City Council, you have a lot of work to do. First, on what? On what you were saying? No. But you see, when you are getting the responses, is what I want to mention now. That the responses that we are getting from the Lusaka City Council, they are so uncoordinated. Okay? And this is the reason as to why. When we are here, we should have the same thing, especially between the management and the Auditor General's office. They should just have one thing. But when we start pulling each other here, you have seen there, the DF was saying he was looking for answers somewhere. Assisted now, he had to get assistance from the assistant. And then the director planning. You see, what director planning has should be what the assistant director finance should have. The auditor should have the same thing. It means you have a thorough document that you have set as management, and you say this is what we are going to present. Every query, I believe you do that. When you are given notice of coming here, you do sit as management, and it goes through your report thoroughly. And when you come here, if I ask the director of planning, I ask the auditor, they will still give me the same thing. Even if it's wrong, but if you are speaking the same language, then you can be corrected at the same point. But what we have seen is we have this, you are not coordinated. At some point, yes, you are saying maybe you are new, maybe you are not well acquainted with the operations at Lusaka City Council. But when you get into an office, you always acquaint yourself whatever happens there. So the issues that have been raised, especially the first issue, where students, you are claiming these are not, we didn't pay for them. The Auditor General's office is saying, we have evidence that the Lusaka City Council has paid. So we want a reconciliation on that. We need, like we said, in 2 weeks' time, we need to submit a report showing what you have done. And then when you come to these people that you've blacklisted, I think we can do better. We can do better. Our members of parliament, Honorable Shaka Foswa here, would want to know, because that's why I say don't create an atmosphere where people begins to put, to suggest, because if you say you blacklisted them, maybe they are blacklisted, maybe, who knows, maybe they are my relatives, and you just want them to go away because this man actually is a grant. People would be thinking like that. Because honestly, if they came to do that, you would engage them again, the way you started. So let's see what we can do, the best we can do. And I've always mentioned that Lusaka City Council should be a role model. We must be able to say, this is very good, Lusaka City Council, this is what we're going to do. And I know you are coming back to appear, maybe in April, for operations. On the main report, I want you to work as a team. Madam Internal Auditor, please make sure that the figures, you are supposed to see, these are the figures. There's no way Madam Internal Auditor would allow management to just make payments on the people that they have not seen or the college they have never visited. And at the end of the day, you as an internal auditor, you must certify that yes, we have made payments and this the right have verified and everything is there. Under Public Finance Management Act is punishable, to fail to do the right thing financially. We do not want to cite you because when we write a report, we can cite there is Mr. Ndava, acting town clerk. We list you like that. No. We are partners in development and we want you to do the best than what you have done today. Having said that, with that council, I will now lift up the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to go back. We see you sometime in April as you appear before the main Auditor General's report. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Members.
Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
Jazzy boy.
Calm down, baby. Let me give you my love, baby. Tell me why you wanna go right now. Why you wanna leave me right now? I need you to stay right now. They go punda patuze right now. Tell me why you wanna go right now. Right now. Why you wanna leave me right now? Right now. I need you to stay right now. They go punda patuze right now. Mona, yeti kuleka pakulire. Nakusanga weka shakulire. Yeti ndekede ungakuchirire. You know love just stay avana. Kulire. Yeti kankede na libele no tubishi. Late kumushin kamba fem finishi. Kuna kanino mo that's how we go. Ofa unawa yere that's how it goes. Nalingisha mo sana time una love. Nolesho kutofu mo benda my mouth. Yeti sumina tusha patufikire. Fingi na pitamo nubo kufumire. Tapara konga pela love ilia umpa. Yeti ndeketi chite mko chafupa. I wish you before na kufwa ile chano chose gengele tina kamiso pasta pasta. Calm down, baby. Let me give you my love, baby. Tell me why you wanna go